Hello, everybody. My name is Samuel, and today I'm going to show you a quick overview of GoFabric. GoFabric is a tool for deploying Hyperledger Fabric networks in an easy and fast way. That means that a developer or a non-technical person that doesn't have any experience with blockchain can deploy their own network easily and without any technical hurdles. So I want to give a quick overview of what GoFabric offers. And in the next videos, we will operate GoFabric step by step so you have a full network at the end of it. So here I have my account. So I'm logged in. You can see that I have my login as a demo account here. And you can see that I have a organization. So if you've seen the previous video on Fabric concepts, you know what a Fabric organization is. So here I have one organization in my account. And let's take a look at this organization. Okay, so this organization is called org1. So I'm gonna click here and I can see the dashboard for my organization. So here I can see already some resources related to Fabric, right? If you've seen the previous video, you know about these resources. So I have the certificate authority of this organization. I have the peer, I have the auditors, I have some APIs. So those are usually called client applications. Here we have APIs to interact with our organization. And we have a network API for operating this organization in the network. So GoFabric allows you to create all that with a click of a button, basically, right? So creating new peers for an organization is as easy as clicking this button and selecting a peer host, providing your CA credentials and clicking submit. And that allows you to create your peers and also to monitor those peers, right? So here I can see that my peer node is running and I can click on my peer node and that will take me to a more detailed view of that peer. So I can see container details from that peer. I can also check logs in real time, right? So I can see there's a bunch of call chain codes here. And I can scroll up and I can see some blocks that have been received and all that. So this is interesting, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the organization that I have, right? Um, this organization, I can see here on the sidebar that I have this business group. And if I scroll down a little bit, I can see also those business groups here. So business groups in GoFabric, they are groups that are composed of multiple organizations where they are going to be sharing data on a blockchain, right? So here I have two groups. My organization one is on a supply chain group and on a sales group. And I can see there are the other organizations that are part of this group as well. These organizations are managed by other accounts in GoFabric, and I do not have access to them. So the only organization that I know of that I can manage is organization one, right? So I can either click here or here to access the business group. So let's check my first business group. So here on the overview, I have some proposals. Here I don't have pending proposals, so this page is a little bit empty. But I can see the channels that I have on this business group, right? So I have a supply channel with three organizations that are part of this channel. And a business group can have multiple channels, right? So I can just click here, new channel, and I can provide the information that I need for that channel, selecting the organizations that I want this channel to have, and that will create a proposal for the organizations to accept. So this is a nice part of GoFabric. There is a component of governance on the business group, right? So that means that whenever I create a new resource on the business group, that will need approval according to the policy of that business group. So I can see the proposals here, right? And so I have the history of proposals of my business group, and I can actually see the proposal of the supply channel creation, right? So I can see that it was approved, that it was completed, and all the organizations that voted to approve this proposal, right? And this will happen also with other components. So channel is only one component, but I can also do that with chain codes. So with chain codes, you already know about chain codes. If you've seen the previous video, chain codes are the way to manage data with business logic on a particular channel, right? So they're essentially their smart contract of this blockchain network. So here I have a chain code on the supply channel, and this chain code is called supply CC. And these are the peers that have the chain code installed. So you can see that I have the peers from organization one with this installed, right? So peer zero and peer one from organization one. And I also have the peers from organization two and three, which are basically my business partners in this case, that also have the chain code installed and can execute that chain code, right? And of course, I have a view of the organizations that are part of this, right? Okay, so how do we interact with this network? Once I have it all deployed here, how can I interact with it? Each organization can interact with the network through their own set of APIs, right? So I can come here into APIs and I can see that I have APIs deployed for organization one. So I have two APIs here. One of these APIs is connected by default to the supply channel and operating the supply chain code. And the other one is set to operate the sales channel and the sales chain code, okay? And we're going to see each one of those separately. But first, we need to know what does supply CC and sales CC do. So for that, we can come here into a sub app of GoFabric called Chain Code Builder, which allows us to not only manage our chain codes and upload source codes, but to actually build new chain codes without needing to code anything, right? So I can come here into the build tab and I can see here that I have a templates tab, right? So I have a demo, I have a supply, and I have a sales, right? These are chain codes that I created previously, and creating a new one is just a click on the new template button, but I can also see what I have for each one of them. So if I could click on view template, I can see that this template actually defines some assets. So those assets, they are basically a data mapping, right? So kind of like I'm defining a database table or something like that. Here I have three assets, and those are assets that have a particular format, which I can also define. So here for the supply chain code, I defined a production lot, and the production lot has some properties. I have also a product type, and I have also a chain actor. And you can see on the properties, and let's focus on the production lot properties, which is more interesting. I have an ID, and the ID has a string type. I have a produced at, which is a date time. And here I have type and owner. And those two are related to the other assets that I have. So one thing that I can do on GoFabric um, is to reference other assets. So this is interesting because I can, the production lot can have a type, which is managed by its own asset, and the owner can be the chain actor, which is also its own asset, right? And I can alter this pretty easily. So here I can see that my production lot has the type as a production type and owner as a chain actor, okay? So I'm just going to close this and we're going to see the sales one. So the sales is going to be a little bit simpler. The sale is going to be just a sell proposal, right? It's just going to be a different chain code for registering the sales between two organizations, okay? So this is going to relate to the production lot key, which is going to be a string. It's going to have a sold by. It's going to have a approved by. So this is going to be kind of interesting. This is going to be a array. And this is going to be just a value of the sale. And in our network, what this means is that we have the two business group, one for the whole supply chain and one just for registrations of sales between org1 and org3, right? Okay, so let's go back to our org1 and to our APIs. And you may have noticed that under our APIs, we have this component called GoInidus. And what GoInidus is an interface that allows us to explore the data on our blockchain and not only explore it, but also transact on that connected to the API. Okay. So here I have two GoInidus, one connected for each channel and chain code API. Okay. Okay. So first, let's explore a little bit of the supply CC, right? So I have the GoInidus here. I can see that it's connected to org1, and I can see here that I have the assets that I defined on GoFabric, right? So here I can go to production lot and I can create a production lot. Okay, so I'm just going to create one. The ID is going to be one. It's going to be produced today. I still don't have a type, so maybe we should create that first. So let's create a type here. So let's say that we are producing boats. So it's going to have boat A, and let's also create boat B, right? So this is actually transacting on the chain and creating those assets for me, right? So if I come back here, I can see that I have boat A and boat B created. And I can also create chain actors here. So let's create the three orgs that are going to be operating here. So I'm going to have chain actor org1, chain actor org2, and chain actor org3. Right. So now we can come into a production lot and create the lot that was just produced. So this is going to be ID 1. It's going to be produced today. Let's say it was a bolt A production. And let's say that the one that produced it, so it's going to be the first owner, it's going to be org1. So it produced a lot of 50, right? So once I fill this form, what I can do is I can actually click on this curl button, and this is going to generate a curl command with the payload that I need to send to my API. So this transaction is actually called, right? So this is kind of neat because what you can do is you can copy this and you can create your, for example, your Postman collection, or you can use this as a basis for creating your own custom interface to connect to the API. And this is really useful. So I'm just going to cancel this and I'm going to submit it here right away. So this is going to create our production lot. Okay. So the production lot is now created here. And I can see that I have the assets referenced here. So I can just click, and this is going to take me to the chain actor page. And I can see that the name is org1, and I can actually see the chain actor key in the blockchain. Okay. So I'm just going to go back to production lot. One thing that we can do also in this asset is check the history of the asset. And for now, we're not going to have much to see because only one org changed this key. So we can see the timestamp, we can see the organization, and we can see the rest of the information, right? But let's say that another organization changed this asset somehow. So for example, the production lot will be transferred between organizations. So organization 1 produced it, and now it's sending that to organization 2. So we can come back here and we can edit this, and we can select the new owner as org2. And now that's going to generate a history for us, right? So we can see the history here. So we're going to have org1 changing this asset twice. But one of them is going to have a different key for the chain actor, right? So this means that the owner changed. And now we can, for example, go to our organization 2 and maybe change it to organization 3, because that's going to transfer the production lot asset to organization 3. So here on another environment, I have this API for organization 2, right, on the supply CC. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to see that I have this asset here, and I can see that org2 is the owner. So I'm going to change it and transfer that to org3. And now what I can do is I can check the history, right? And now the history tells me that org2 did the transfer. Okay. So far, so good. And you notice that I just changed environments here. And this is something that is interesting, right? Because I have this account with org1, and I have a second account here, which is demo 2, with both organization 2 and 3, right? So this means that your account can own more than one organization. You can have many organizations in your own account, and those are managed separately. So if I come here into org3, I can see the org3 menu, and I'm going to act as org3 as long as I'm here. And if I change this to org2, now I'm acting as org2, right? And you can also invite other people to join your organization, okay? So if for some reason my demo 1 account needed access to this org2 account, what I can do is I can go into settings, I can go into members, and I can invite a member, right? So I'm going to invite myself just to showcase this. This is going to be the email that I need. And I'm going to add a role. So I can add a role of administrator, read-only, org manager, and all others, right? So I'm going to just do administrator, and I'm going to send this invitation. And now my account should have received this invitation, which should be right here. Okay, so I'm just going to accept this. And now I have access to organization 2 as well. Okay. On a different note, other things that GoFabric allows you to do is to connect to infrastructure providers. Okay, so if you go into the sub application Go Infra, you can actually connect to your own cloud provider. So you can connect currently to AWS and Google Cloud, and with Azure coming soon. So this is pretty simple. You just follow the instructions, and with the access key, you are able to connect and to provision VMs. Okay, so this is one other thing that GoFabric provides, and we'll go through all of that with specific videos. For now, I want to Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.